Well, hello. This is Boyd Barrett, and this is the second podcast for the upcoming Roswell Community Little Theater production of The Prisoner. And the last podcast, Curtisfolts and I talked about the roles that we're playing, and wanted you to meet the other speaking role. There is a third role. And a very, very interesting role, in fact. And we have a newcomer playing that role. His name is Randy Nolen, most recently from Killeen, Texas. And I'll let him tell you a little bit about himself and why he came here. So, Randy, what brought you to Roswell?
Well, I'm the new pastor of Westminster Presbyterian Church here in Roswell.
Aha.
And I have been here since the 15th of January.
Wow, that is newcomer.
It is a newcomer, yes.
And you came and tried out for The Prisoner right off the bat.
Yes.
So why did you do that?
Well, I have been involved in community theater since I was in high school, and I've always loved doing it. There have been periods when I wasn't able to, like when I was in the Navy, but I've always enjoyed doing it, and I saw the auditions, and I came right down.
Wow. Well, that's great. Now, the role that you're playing is of the warder.
Right.
And he is he's an interesting character. He has several scenes, mostly with my character, with the prisoner character. How are you inhabiting that character? What's happening there?
Well, in some ways, it's not too different from what I do for a living. In some ways, in other ways, it is. He's sort of a prison guard / caretaker, and he has the responsibility for this one cell, which the prisoner just happens to be in. Mm-hmm. And I think he develops some sympathy for the prisoner.
Right.
He starts to think of him as not just a prisoner, not just someone who's inhabiting this cell, but someone he can talk to, because he's the only other person allowed to talk to the prisoner.
Right.
Other than the interrogator.
Mm-hmm.
So I think in some ways he kind of develops some sympathy for him. I know particularly at the end he is somewhat upset with the interrogator, the things the interrogator has done to this man. Mm-hmm. And unless the interrogator know it.
Right.
But
yeah,
it's sort of interesting.
It is.
It's a lot of fun.
Yeah, it's a fun character. In fact, if there's any humor in this play, it most of it comes from you, right. from your character.
Well, it's not a whole lot of knee-slapping fun.
No.
But it is considerably lighter than the tone of the scenes between the interrogator and the prisoner.
That's right.
It's somewhat like the gravedigger scene in Hamlet.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, they're not really that funny, but they are the comic relief. They do lighten the mood a little bit before the people in the audience go crazy.
Exactly. Now, in your past performances, have you played both dramatic and comedic roles?
Yes, I have.
And do you prefer either one?
I actually prefer comedy,
although
I think in some ways comedy is tougher. In dramatic roles, many times, if you have the sense of the line, you're good.
Right.
Whereas in comedy, many times, comedy depends on the interplay of words, and you have to have the lines down pat. If the word is there, you have to say that word because some other word may not be funny.
Exactly.
So I think in some ways comedy is more difficult, but I enjoy both.
Yeah. What are some of the, maybe a role or two that you have played that you've really enjoyed?
Oscar Madison in The Odd Couple.
Oh, wow. Well, we just did The Odd Couple. The RCLT did last season.
Very good. Judge Wargrave in 10 Little Indians.
Okay.
Let's see. Warnie Lewis in Shadowlands.
Oh, in Shadowlands. Wow. That's exciting. Yeah.
Some of them. There have been others.
Yeah. Well, very good. Well, of course, we're looking forward to having a good audience for this show. It's not the usual fare for a little theater, probably anywhere, but for Roswell Little Theater, and we want to get some people out there that are going to think and enjoy this.
Yeah, this is kind of for the PBS crowd.
Right. Yeah. Maybe so. Maybe that's it. Somebody that's going to think.
Somebody that's going to think.
Yeah, it needs to be somebody that's willing to delve a little bit into what these characters mean to them,
right?
Because each of us can, we can see ourselves. I know that all of us have seen ourselves in some of these characters, and the audience will be able to as well.
They will.
All right. Well, very good. Well, we will continue to do these podcasts. Hopefully, we'll get our director, Lynetta, and some of the other people in the cast and crew. But you've heard from the main three characters in the play now. Until next time.